So let's look at the second one, which was?
The second one is your passion. And it's a bit of a bridge here. It's between identifying what you're passionate about. So this isn't necessarily what you're good at doing, it's what you feel in your heart you are drawn to do. It's what you love doing.
So even using the word heart for many people would be a kind of new thing, because they tend not to think of work and heart in the same breath.
Especially in the business world. Yeah. Especially in the business world.
So again, how do people start kind of listening to their own hearts in your experience? How do they do that?
Again, by what brings them joy. And I think what you can do is make a link between what you're doing and what you're passionate about in the world generally. So don't focus so much on the workplace, but draw attention to what really gets you engaged, energetic generally in the world, and then slowly try and make a connection to how that could relate to your work, either now in your current role or in any other potential work that you might look to do in the future. So obviously it's very difficult for people to necessarily relate what they're passionate about to what they're doing. If somebody's really passionate about food, and they want to learn more about food, and they want to start getting into professional training, and they're in an administrative job in a bank, it would be very difficult to make that connection. But identifying it is the first step. Actually being able to name it. So they may know that they're really passionate about cooking and food, but they wouldn't have made the connection, that's a passion, therefore how can I relate that to what I'm naturally good at and make a living from it. So the first point is to identify it.
Okay, so to notice it.
Yeah, name it. And then the connection with what I call deepest intent. This is from a teacher of mine in California. I have found this to be really, really a beautiful practice in saying, how can I make a commitment to what my deepest intent is? It's like my purpose. How can I take my natural skills and what I'm passionate about and make a commitment to my deepest intent to offer that to the world? How, there's that beautiful, which I have to say I only recently discovered, I think it's Matthew 5, I'm not sure where, he says that it's the whole hiding your light under a bushel. Don't hide your light under a bushel. Had no idea it came from the Bible, came across it the other day, I was like, whoa! And I just think that you got to make a commitment to show up and say, actually, that is worthwhile work, because I'm going to bring it out into the world rather than hide it.
Yeah, and that's part of the narrative that I certainly subscribe to, is the world needs all our passion, the world needs our talent, we need to show up with what we got. If we showed up with everything we had, the world would be very different, I think. So let's look at the third one then, and that's the people that you're most kind of destined or best fit to serve.
Absolutely. Essentially, there is a group of people, there are people there who will benefit from what you have to offer. And it's about embarking on the process of identifying who those people are. And I know you call them your tribe. It's a big one for Seth Godin at the moment.
He wrote a book called Tribes. If you're watching this, Seth Godin, G-O-D-I-N, wrote a book called Tribes, and it certainly shifted my thinking about how I was running my business, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's actually catching on. Both, I think, so there are two elements to this for me, which is one on the personal level, which is to say, who can I really make a difference to? Because that's what worthwhile work is. It's about taking what you have to offer and then making a difference and serving. It's this idea of service through what you have. So just reflecting on and thinking about having conversations with people and identifying who could benefit from what I've got to offer.
And I think it's a lovely idea that many people don't kind of even contemplate, which is, each of us can be the answer to somebody else's prayers. With our gifts and talents, when we show up and when we're fully who we are, we can be the answer to somebody's prayers. We can be that perfect fit where they go, you're just what I needed, or just what I wanted. And it's just lovely, I think, to even contemplate that. Yeah. That most of us think, oh God, how am I going to make myself employable so I can get a job, rather than thinking, hey, there are people out there that could really do with who I am and what I've got and what I know how to do and my insights and experience. So yeah, I love this idea of building a tribe, and I find it fascinating, because I realise, I think even business owners that I work with, I don't know about you, but even business owners I work with tend to think, well, anybody could be my client. The truth is, not everybody is going to be your client. So I think sometimes we have to do a level of self-reflection to go, actually, who am I best with? What impact do I have when I'm really brilliant? Do you kind of, what questions do you use to help people kind of figure out who their ideal clients are?
I think for me it's who shares what I value, what I'm passionate about, and has a need in the space that I want to offer my expertise, wisdom, heart, if you like, and how can I connect to them or with them, because that's where there's going to be resonance, and I think that resonance is where there's a true power in business, where it kind of transcends the idea of just a job, where there's just transaction, and it just becomes a very, very powerful. That to me is about relationships in business. You know, I used to be a customer relationship management consultant, and it was all about systems and business processes. What happened to the relationships?
Yeah,
you know,
what happened to conversations and relationships?
What happened to the relationships?
Yeah.
And that for me, I think, as you said, the more people focus on narrowing down their potential group of people who they could serve to, another word is micro niche. Go beyond niche to micro niche.
Yeah. Because you think about it, you only need, potentially, depends what business you're in, but you only need a couple of dozen, couple of hundred, 1,000 clients, and you've got a fantastic business. So if you can really identify the people that you're most equipped to serve, I think it's the quickest and most effective way of building a business.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. We'll draw this one to a conclusion. Thanks,
Thank
Jules.
you. Thanks,
Cheers.
Nick.